Hey YouTube, it's your girl Jasmine, and today I'm coming to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 4, Episode 5. Are we on Episode 5 or 6? I think it's Episode 5. So let's go ahead and jump right into this because it was a really, really good episode. I really enjoyed this episode, and I am hella late posting this review because the show came on Saturday, and it is Thursday, and I'm just now reviewing. Normally I do my reviews on Monday, but this Monday I just needed to relax. You know, it was Easter on Sunday and I didn't do anything on Easter, but I just needed to relax. You know, I just needed to regroup and get my week started. So I didn't do anything on Monday. I didn't even leave my house Monday. So it was a good relaxation day because I knew I had a busy week this week. Also implementing, starting working out every single day, like for 5 days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I just needed to regroup. So far, I'm doing good. I worked out. Today is Thursday. So I worked out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And as long as I work out today and tomorrow, I'm on track to, you know, hit my weekly goal, which is working out. I don't really have a goal now that I think about it. Whenever I get to it, but I'll get into all that later. Let's get on with Love and Marriage Huntsville. So the episode opened up where we left off last week, which was with Kiki and Tisha. Tisha called Kimmy to let her know that she was shaken up after the conversation with Kiki because it had got so heated and she just needed to call somebody. So as Tisha is on the phone with Kimmy, Kiki walks up like, oh, so you on the phone telling my business, telling blah, 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 doing all of that. And it was funny because then they started going back and forth and they brought up why Kiki is upset with Tisha from something 5 years ago. Basically, Kiki needs to let it go. It just seemed like a little bit of tit for tat. Like, oh, well, since you're mad at me, I'm going to bring up something that you did 5 years ago because, you know, you're mad at me type of thing. And, you know, it's just kind of... What I like about Love and Marriage Huntsville is it feels real. So like those are real interactions that you would have with like a family member. You know how you get mad at family and then y'all let it go. And like, you know, you can come back from it. That with family, you can come back from situations that you can't come back from with friends. So I really liked that scene because again it felt like, you know, real life, like how you would go at it with a cousin or a sister or a brother and y'all are going back and forth and it just felt real authentic. I was a little bit confused though because it's like before Kiki had walked out the door, it's like basically she was waiting for somebody to tell her to like walk. So I was a little bit confused about that because she was just standing at the door. I don't know what she was doing, but it was like she was almost like waiting for maybe a producer or somebody to be like, all right, go ahead and go. Walk up on Tisha type of thing. But that situation, just my outlook on that situation is like, it just sounds dumb. Like, I'm on Tisha's side because I feel like I said in my last video, I feel like, you know, when it comes to family, like, I don't care what it is. Like, you don't talk about me to people who you know I'm not fucking with right now. Even when I am fucking with them like that, like, we're family. So you need to always align yourself with me, period. When you're in the presence of people who I'm on and off with, always align yourself with me. You don't need to be speaking on my situations with people who do not know me, people who don't mess with me like that. Because guess what? Those same people, they're going to use that same stuff that you're telling them, use it against me. So don't do that. So I feel like, and I also just think it's weird that Kiki was at Mel's holiday party. Like, we have never seen Kiki filming with Mel. Now all of a sudden you're filming with Mel. Like, no. And if the situation of my cousin came up, I would, like I said in my last video, I would just be like, oh, you know, you got to talk to Tisha about that. Like, you know, that would be my stance. And, you know, even if I don't want to go as far as to say, oh, don't speak about her because she's not here to defend herself, I would just say, oh, you got to ask her because, you know, I don't really know. Even if I do know something, like, it's just not your business. Anything that you want to know, you need to go ask her specifically. So I feel like Kiki was in the wrong. And on this particular situation, I am Team Tisha. So then we get to Martell and Marsau. So Martell goes over to school and, you know, talking to Marsau. They're catching up about the book signing. Marsau's asking him like, oh, how was the book sounding? How was the turnout? He's like, oh, it was good, you know, but the kids weren't there. And Marcel was like, what? The kids weren't there? Like, he's shocked. And what's his name? Martell is like, oh, well, yeah, you know, Mel is saying that it wasn't my week. And, you know, he's doing his little pity party trying to get more people on his side. At the end of the day, it wasn't your week. You should have planned it on your week. Yes, Melody could have taken the kids, but she didn't. Wasn't your week, whatever. And then what I really want to point out is the fact that in my last video, when I said that Martell said that he emailed Melody, right? Why did Marsau have the same reaction that I had when Martell was like, yeah, because I emailed her. He was like, wait, emailing? You're emailing? Why are you emailing her? That was my reaction. I'm like, why? Like, if any of my children's fathers email me anything concerning my children, like, that would take me off even further. Like, you got my number. You better call me. To Martell is saying that, well, Melody doesn't answer his calls or doesn't respond to his text, so he need a paper trail. Okay, if you feel you need a paper trail for whatever reason, go ahead. They kind of, you know, they're already divorced, but they were in a messy situation. So, okay, if you need the paper trail, cool. But don't email me about my children expecting me to email you back, because I'm going to ignore your ass. Like, no. Like, no matter how ugly things get, you can at least text me about your child, and I will give you the courtesy of responding. Do not fucking email me. No. I just feel like that's the pettiest of the pettiest. But we are talking about two petty people. And, you know, not even that they're really petty, but that's what happens when things get ugly, you know, in situations like that. You know, unfortunately, it does come down to that. But you do that to me and your email is getting ignored. You better call, you better text. Text is my preferred method, okay? So then what's his name? Martell kind of like tells Marsau that he wants to kind of get back into business under their name or with them or whatever. And Marsau was like, well, I think he said, even though I'm the majority, I'm not the only one on the board, so I have to consult with this person, and this person. I'll talk to Tisha about it or whatever. So I find it interesting that this is why you just cannot burn bridges, because look, you may find yourself in a position where you want to work with someone, or you even need to work with someone because you're in a bad spot, or maybe not even in a bad spot, but you kind of want to up your game. So that's the importance of not burning bridges. And I do kind of feel like Martell has burned bridges with Marsau. So like, if I was Marsau, to be honest, I would really have to think about it. And I think Marsau really has to think about it. And that's why he was like, well, I'm not the only person on the board, because I think he really wants to think about it. Because, like, that's not an easy yes. You know, you're a person who, like, when you got caught up in your shit, you know, you tried to, like, throw me under the bus and try to act like, you know, I had something, whether he does or doesn't, tried to, you know, you insinuated that I had something going on. And now you have my wife questioning herself. And it's risky doing business with you. On top of that, you don't, you know, all the stuff that you thought you had, you no longer have. And now you're trying to put out wine. You're trying to do a cookbook. You're trying to, like, do all of these different things to, you know, help your brand. Why are we yelling in my video? You want to say hi? Say hi, YouTube. So, yeah, it's like, you know, you're now trying to rebrand yourself. Cool. But now you also want to work with me over here on this. I got to think about it. Then we move on to Kimmy and Maurice. Quick little scene. They just pretty much were talking about, Kimmy was catching him up on what transpired between him and Kiki, and Maurice was like, I mean, not him and Kiki, Kiki and Tisha, and Maurice was like, oh, well, you know, pretty much like Wanda's about to get involved, so you make sure you ain't really in that, because you know your name gonna be in it, type of thing. And Kimmy was like, yeah, well, something about her name coming up. Nothing major, but this boy is playing with the car while I'm trying to film a video. Enough. So anyways, we get to the scene with, we get to the scene with Destiny when she goes to Maurice's office to meet up with Maurice to try to talk about her. I guess she was just trying to, like, better her credit, and Maurice is a credit repair type person. In addition to being an attorney, can't leave that part off. So, you know, she's just talking to him. I don't really know. I guess she was trying to figure out a way for her to better her credit. And she's in the whole, it was a really good conversation. You know, it seemed really genuine between them. And Maurice was just very honest about like how he's going to pray for her. And she went on to say like she had to be on public assistance with the divorce. And because of the divorce, her credit score went down. I didn't know that. I didn't know that when you get a divorce, your credit score goes down. But obviously I've never been married or anything, so I wouldn't know that, nor have I been divorced. So I wouldn't know that. But I will say, like, I feel like we as the viewers, we need to, I hate to say this, but I do feel like we need to know more. Like exactly what happened with Destiny and whatever his name is, Ladarian. I don't know his name, but whatever his name is. And even if we don't know exactly what happened, but I'm just as a viewer, I'm personally just a little bit confused. So Destiny, they got married. They moved to Huntsville. Did Destiny move to Huntsville for the guy, for her husband? And now that they're not together, she's just stuck in Huntsville because she says she has no support system, which she has always said. And that's why she said she admire Mel, because Mel has such a strong village. She doesn't have that. So I'm just kind of like, okay, well, if you and him are no longer together and the only thing that was keeping you in Huntsville was the marriage, where is Destiny? Destiny's from Detroit, is that right? I think is what initially was said about Destiny. I'm also a little bit confused because like, I feel like when we were introduced to Destiny as like this mogul, like this person who's like, maybe like a Stormy. You know how they say like Stormy has her estate and she's like this big business person. So maybe I misunderstood, but I kind of took it as when we were initially introduced to Destiny, that Destiny like was this person who like already had her own brand and like already like was a business savvy person and was successful in that sense. But now, after hearing her talk to Maurice, she's like, well, Madani, which is her beauty supply store or whatever, her business, has been, closed because she can't really make payroll to pay the workers, and she can't necessarily be there all the time because she has the baby. So, basically she's trying to figure out ways to maximize the revenue, which is by putting salon suites in there, and they're just coming up with different ideas for her and yada, yada, yada. So outside of Maurice saying he's going to pray for her, we didn't really hear. Oh, and then she mentioned to Maurice that she was using her personal savings for her business. And he, in his confessional was like, that's a bad idea. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. But we'll see how it plays out. Nonetheless, wish Destiny the best. And I'll, pray for her success as well. Because, women, we got to support each other. We got to support women, yada, yada, yada. So, Tisha and Marsau, they then have a little conversation. And this is where Marsau is going to mention to Tisha that Martell wants to slide back on in, right? He wants to come on back in up on the scope. He want to work for scope or with scope. Tisha does not seem like she's with it. Okay. And I'm going to say I agree with Tisha. Like, this is not a trustworthy person. This is a person like where if something happens to them, they're going to drag everybody down with them. And I do not like people like that. I actually work with somebody who's like that. When the fire is up under their ass, they try to burn it on everybody. They try to, and it's like they'll put people in it that don't even have nothing to do with it. And you just got to really be careful with those types of people in life because they're just dangerous people. So I'm gonna be honest, where I would stand, although I would want to help somebody, like, I don't know that I would want to work with them. Like, I would want to help in the sense of like, all right, if you want to get your builder's license, like, we'll help you study or we'll study with you or something like that. But I wouldn't really want to work with Martell again after everything that has happened. Or like, I can help Martell, if I was Tisha and Marsau, I can help Martell in the sense of like, if I got a piece of business and I can't really take on that piece of business, maybe because I already have too much on my plate, I can recommend you or slide it over to you. And then whatever you do with it, I can help you in that aspect. But as far as you working, like directly up under my company or working with me, I don't know. I would have to like be very hands-on and watch you because, you know, you kind of seem a little sloppy. But so yeah, Tisha did not seem with it. So we're going to see what happens with that. Lastly, which took up most of the episode, was Destiny and Melody. They sat down and met. They had a conversation about why they're not speaking or the state of their friendship. And, you know, honestly, as much as I like Melody, I don't think I would be friends with a Melody. Because for one, I feel like the way she was talking to Destiny, well, both of them. So when Melody was like, do you know why we're here? And Destiny was like, no, I don't. And, you know, because if I knew why I was here, blah, 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 blah. I feel like, okay, both of them, that was like stupid, whatever, petty, whatever. That annoyed me in the beginning, both of them. And then I got annoyed when Melody said to Destiny, don't be rude, don't be rude. And I was like, hold up. So I watched the episode twice because I didn't catch this the first time. I saw Melody say that, but I didn't catch what Destiny said back. So when I watched it back the second time, I was like, oh, thank God Destiny checked her ass about that. Like, don't talk to me like that. I'm not your child. I'm not a kid. Yeah, like, don't be rude. Like, that's not how you talk to me. Don't even fucking say anything. Just because you think that I'm not listening, okay, bitch. That don't mean I'm not listening. Like, wait for me to respond. But you just, don't be rude. Don't be rude. No. You're not talking to your children. You're talking to a grown adult. So that would have definitely ticked me off because I do not like, I do not like people talking to me like a child because I'm not a child. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, been there, done that. Don't talk to me like a child. Speak to me like an adult. Okay. I even get annoyed like when people do the sweetheart and honey thing. Sweetheart, I'm not your sweetheart. I'm a grown adult. No matter how old you think I look or think I am based on how I look, no. I'm a grown adult with 2 children and a bonus child, okay? Do not call me sweetheart. Do not call me honey. That just annoys me. Especially like, you know, in my line of work, they'll be like, oh, thank you, honey, sweetheart. And I'm like, no, I'm not your sweetheart. My daughter is my sweetheart, okay? My children are my sweetheart, please. So yeah, that whole thing, and then it got real heated, and then they talking about, oh, you talk to Martell every day, and da-da-da-da. I will say, at the end of the day, this is the way I see it. I can understand Melody. I can understand Melody in the sense of like, when you break up with somebody, like Destiny and Martell were friends before Melody. So in my eyes, Destiny is Martell's friend. Okay, we built a relationship because of my marriage, but you're his friend. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that I can be cool and I can be cordial and I could be like, again, cool acquaintance, but I don't know how good of friends I can be with somebody who is like friends with my ex. Like, I don't know that I could tell you all my secrets. I don't know if you can know all my business, you know, just because I know how good of a relationship you have with my ex-husband. So like, I may be like, hey, how you doing? Or we may be like Instagram acquaintances or whatever. But as far as like, oh, we going on vacation together and da-da-da-da, no. Because when you talk to my ex and he be like, oh, you going on vacation? And you be like, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation with Mel or whatever. And then, I don't know. It may be a little bit immature on my part, but I don't think that I could. My friendship would be very surface level. It wouldn't be like deep and depth type of friendship. That's just me though. I'm not friends with any of my ex's friends, okay? Like, I don't even know that I know any. Like, first of all, like, that's way far in between because I've been with someone nearly 6 years at this point, so I don't even remember my ex's friends, but I don't think I could do it. So I think that's where the problem starts. And then after that, it's like Melody, I feel like Melody is one of those people who's not probably really honestly and truthfully not a good friend. Even though we're going to see next week, she says Destiny knows how good of a friend I've been her. I think Melody is a good friend in the sense of like she may think that she puts people on or she may listen to them or, you know, whatever. But I feel like she's also one of those friends that you got to like walk on eggshells with, like, oh, I can't say the wrong thing. Or I feel like she's just like maybe like one of those moody friends like, oh, when I feel like being bothered, which we all like, I feel like I have those moments too, because I have friends who I constantly check in with, and then I have friends where it's like, oh, well, when I feel like dealing with them, I deal with them type of thing. And I feel like that's the type of friend Melody is. So I don't know. But anyways, it was a real good episode. Guess what, y'all? There was no Lewis and Tiffany. I'm going to be honest. I did not miss them. I would love to see more episodes without them. I just feel like they bring nothing. I don't dislike them at all. It's just, I don't really like them on the show. And like, they weren't even in this episode. And it was like, I could vividly see that they're just not needed. They bring nothing except aggravation to me. So yeah, that's all I got. I'm going to be back. Guess what? I may do my review Sunday because the show comes on Saturday. So I may do my review on Sunday for Love and Marriage Huntsville for this upcoming week. But yeah, that's all I got. Y'all have a great Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Have a great weekend. And we going to chat Sunday. It's Sunday or Monday. Bye, y'all.